Do you guys ever feel like sometimes judges just are not good at their job, that they're way too lenient, they don't do what they're supposed to do, and people are just all the time getting away with things? Well, this judge is totally different. So I have an update in this case. I kind of covered it a couple weeks ago, but there's some new stuff coming out. So like I covered last time with these two, they were charged with child abuse without great bodily harm. But let me tell you what happened, and then I'll tell you what the judge ended up doing. So they were arrested because they are accused of abusing their 12-year-old foster daughter. They had her since like 2 months old, and she's 12 years old now. And they homeschooled her pretty much her whole life. But recently she went back to school and went to the school and said, hey, I'm being kept in my room at night, locked in my room for years. I've been locked in my room when I get home from school. There's a lock on the outside of my door. There's locks on my windows. There's nothing in my bedroom but a blow-up mattress. She said that she was forced to shower outside, and she was forced to use the bathroom in her room at night because she had no access to a bathroom. And so she would have to clean up the messes in the morning, and she would have to use her clothing. Well, to clean her clothing, she would use bleach and vinegar. Well, when cops did a search, they found the clothes corroborating her story. She also said that the couple would call her racial slurs. They would talk horrible about her birth parents, who are now deceased, said that she acts just like them and is bipolar. This little girl says that Jennifer would slap her and kick her and punch her, and that she just wasn't treated like the other children in the home. Initially, the other children did corroborate this story, but more has come out. So in the beginning, when they were first arrested back in March, they were charged with what I told you before, child abuse with no great bodily harm. So the defense said, hey, I want them to have a $10,000 bond. Then the prosecutor was like, no, we're not doing a $10,000 bond. I want a $50,000 bond. Like, come on. And the judge was like, well, they shouldn't even be charged with this for what they're accused of. They should not be charged with something so little. So he said they, at the very least, should be charged with aggravated child abuse. He said, so I'm going to give them a bond of $100,000. But still at that time, they were still just charged with the first initial charge. Well, just recently, last week, I believe, they were charged again with 5 more counts. Okay, so now instead of just the first count that they have, it's changed to aggravated child abuse, and then 5 additional counts of neglect for the other children. So 1 more count for the foster child, and then 4 accounts for their biological children. And when this alleged abuse did start or did happen, they were between the ages of 3 and 12. Just with that one charge of the aggravated child abuse, they are facing up to 30 years in prison. Joel is on leave. He's on administrative leave without pay, and both of them are not allowed to have contact with the children or any minors for that matter, and their children are now back in DCFS custody. They do have to wear GPS monitoring, and their next court date is August 20th, and their trial is supposed to start August 31st, but they said that's just tentatively their trial date. But you know how I feel about homeschooling children that are adopted or fostered. I don't think it's appropriate. And if they are being homeschooled, then they should definitely have check-ins. But once you're adopted, there are no more check-ins. And then I want to even know, is this even really a foster child? They keep calling her a foster, but how did she not get adopted in the 10 years that they have had her, and why wasn't she in school? Because in my state, they don't let you homeschool foster children. Oh, and their lawyer said that they are devout Christians and devoutly religious, so they should have some kind of leeway. I don't know why that would make that happen, but that's what their defense team said. Now, they also said that Jennifer told the judge that pretty much she doesn't want the child anymore, that the child will not thrive in her home, and she wants to give the child back to state's custody after 10 years of this child bonding with the family. And I just think it's awful. Obviously, she needs to be taken away because she is not being cared for. But how can a mother of a child for 10 years just want to give her away? And to me, this is more than just aggravated child abuse. There's kind of a torture aspect to it, in my opinion, because they would blast a sound machine in her room so she would not be able to hear any other sounds or any people in the house. She had to write Bible verses constantly as punishment. But like you know, I will be following this case closely. I hope this little girl gets justice and is put in a safe and loving home. But if you are struggling with your foster or adopted children, please reach out for help. There are resources available, and be a voice for the discarded voices.